kombucha second ferment. Here's all this stuff. You don't need it all. I'm making 4 different flavors just to show you how it works. This is from a gallon of Chick-fil-A sweet tea. Started fermenting on the 19th of September. Basically put about a cup of the old scoby, which is the liquid, and the pellicle, which is the solid thing in here, the jellyfish looking thing, into a gallon of Chick-fil-A sweet tea. The 19th of September, today's the 2nd of October, so about 10-ish days, 10, 11 days. That's about right for a gallon to where it will get fermented enough. It'll still have enough sugar to pressurize, but it'll still taste good. These things you do not need, but I used them just initially to see how my taste buds were, see how much sugar was left in here, because I didn't want a whole bunch of sugar. This is a refractometer, and this is just a pH meter. So I was tasting it to see what pH it was, because you want it to be acidic. The pellicle, the scoby, consumes the sugar and makes it into the kombucha. And then that also, once you get going and do the second ferment with this stuff, will pressurize and create CO2 gas and pressurize your chamber. I'll show you how to do it without exploding it. The rest of the details here are simple. Some pH strips, a flashlight to show you. This is for the gingerade. So this is a simple one. The gingerade itself is orange, cloves, black pepper, and ginger. This one's just, I happen to have mixed fruit. Use whatever fruit you want. This one's going to be a cranberry pineapple, and this one's just going to be a banana bread flavor. So we'll get going and show you how to do it. All right, first thing I'm going to do is take the pellicle out as well as the scoby. What you want to do is take the first cup of the top of this. That's going to be the highest pH, or lowest pH actually, more acid, because that's what you want to seed your next batch of kombucha. But I just use a clean pair of tongs, grab the pellicle here. It's okay if it turns over. You actually just want the top part of this pellicle. Drop that in here, and then I'm going to go and test the pH. Now there's a little bit more pellicle still in here. These are the old ones down at the bottom. You don't want to keep the old ones. You want to keep the fresh one from the very top on there. Now I can peel this layer off and use it. But this part, that top part right there, that's what I really want. That's the scoby, the symbiotic combination of bacteria and yeast. All right, let's go ahead and dunk this in here real quick, boom. And then immediately test it to see what it's at. And then the other one's showing 4. So it's down between 3.5 and 4 right there, if I test it like that. So about right there, yeah, 3 to 3.5. So it's pretty acidic right now. It's gonna be pretty tart and good. So now that I know that the top is acidic, I'm gonna pour some of this off, about a cup of it into here to use for the next batch. I do it in here, as you can see, because it's gonna spill a little bit and it's a sticky liquid. Now here's the rest of it. I'm gonna pour these off into each of these. I've got a gallon, so I'm gonna pour about, you'll see how far I pour it up to it, just to the neck of it, just to where it's starting to turn. I leave a little bit of space, about right there to the top ridge. I do that for all of them because I'm gonna add some fruit to it, and that's gonna bring it up to about here. All right, secondary fermentation. 1 gallon got about 5 of these jars. I got them from Container Store. These are the heavy duty flip top seals, but they can still explode. So you see my other video on this, on how to make this to where I'm just using rubber band to keep it sealed. But if you can't watch it for the whole time or burp it every single day, then it can become a bottle bomb. And that is not good. It is dangerous. So again, if you have something that is highly sugary, like our pineapple here or bananas, they're gonna really put off a lot of CO2 and make these into bottle bombs. So I highly recommend just use this. I'll show you how to do that in the end. But for now, we're gonna do 1 bottle here. Same principle's the same. Basically pour some of this out into a container, put your fruit in, about that much into it, blend it, and then pour it back into here, and then close the flip top, let it sit on the counter for about 3 days or so. All right, in order to get the right amount, I'm gonna pour some of this into here to blend it. You can do it the other way and eyeball it, but once I got this in here, I'm gonna add my fruit. All right, we got the fruit in here. I'm just gonna stick blend it. And pour that back in. It will come up just to the curve there. There we go. And then the bottle bomb technique, or the no bottle bomb technique, is put this on here, and normally you flip it down hard, and that caps it tight and makes it pressurized. Pop this back here, you'll see in a second, Now this, I'm going to set this down here. All right, so now I keep this here, pull the rubber band down and pull it to the bottom. And now that keeps this pressurized, but not completely. So if it gets any air in it, it's enough to overcome this pressure and vent, but not enough to completely pressurize and explode. So you'll see up top here, like I said, as this comes through, if it gets enough pressure, this is not all the way clamped down and it will vent out of the top here. These are the different ones we're doing. We got banana bread, mixed fruit, gingerade, and then that's cranberry pineapple if you can read it. So those will ferment, basically secured so they won't explode for 3 days, and then I'll just cap them. I don't burp them, I cap them and then put them in the fridge and they're good to go. Whenever you open it, always use a cap, like a rubber cap to cover it and put it in the sink, because when it explodes, not explodes, but when it like, you know, fizzes and overflows, that will shoot everywhere, and you do not want that on your ceiling or all the places you can't clean. Last step, this is critical. Cold equals mold for kombucha. This is on a heating pad. It's up to 92.1. It's summertime now, so I don't need the heating pad. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and unplug this thing for now. But in the winter, if you leave this out here and it's cold, you will get mold on top of this. So cold equals mold. Do not stick your SCOBY in the refrigerator either. You can stick your ferments, your final second ferments in there to keep, and that's fine. But don't stick the SCOBY in there. It's really not good for it. For making kefir and these other things, it's okay to stick the stuff into the fridge. Those are okay, but this one does not like it. You can do what you call a SCOBY hotel if you go, I just don't have time to take care of this. Let it go. It can turn this whole thing into vinegar. Take it out, stick it into a new batch, boom. And you actually have the kombucha vinegar, which is actually very good as well too. If you just let this go, you can take that out, stick it on the shelf for a month or 2 months, and you have this really good kombucha vinegar that you can use in salad dressings and other stuff as well. But again, cold equals mold. Do not let this stay in a cold temperature. I don't even leave it inside the house. I put it out here in the garage on the heating pad just to make sure that it's staying warm.